All right, well, I'll go ahead and start. Let me, first of all, introduce myself. My name is Mark Akunan. I am mayor of the city of Placerville for the year 2019, and it's my honor to be here this afternoon as the master of ceremonies and also a guest speaker on behalf of this project. It would seem appropriate that first I begin with requesting a moment of silence in honor of El Dorado County Sheriff's Deputy Brian Ismael, whose end of watch was October 23rd, 2019. So please join me in a moment of silence. Thank you very much. And we thank all of our first responders for the duty that they provide and the safety that they provide to this community 24 hours a day. First of all, I'd like to welcome all of you to the completion of which has been one of Placerville's largest public works project we've ever done as a city in over 100 years of history. I would like to introduce a few elected officials that are here this afternoon. We have Supervisor Brian Veerkamp. We have Vice Mayor Michael Saragosa, City Council Member and Chair of the El Dorado County Transportation Commission, Patty Borelli. We have Councilmember Kara Taylor in the audience. I'd like to thank Chief Lloyd Ogan for his attendance this afternoon. We have our distinguished guest, the Placerville Police Chief, Jim Ortega. And it is his car that drove the wrong way down the ramp earlier. And of course, the Highway Patrol was here instantly to make sure that it was a citable, and we appreciate their attendance this afternoon also. Am I missing anybody? Our city engineer, of course, Rebecca Neves, who was instrumental in bringing this big project home. Then we have a couple of retirees in the audience also. We have former over 25-year with El Dorado County Transit as the executive director, Mindy Jackson. Mindy, thank you for coming. Without the transit district's help, the project again would not be what you see here this afternoon. We also have, I understand, Sharon Scherzinger, who was prior director of the El Dorado Transportation Commission. And of course, standing next to Sharon, we have Woodrow Deloria, who is the existing executive director for the El Dorado County Transportation Commission. And again, without the help of the commission, this project would not have ever happened. So thank all of you for taking your time this afternoon. As I've just kind of outlined, this project had a whole number of partners, and it was definitely a collaboration of the community. I'll just rattle through a few of them here. The partners that really brought the funding to the table were Caltrans District 3 and all their staff. We have some folks here from Caltrans. Thank you very much for coming down. We appreciate it. Of course, as I just mentioned, the El Dorado County Transportation Commission, the El Dorado County Transit Authority. We also got help from SACOG, the Sacramento Area Region of Governments. The El Dorado County actually assisted us in providing construction funding, and basically they guaranteed our loan for a while, if you will. But without such simple things, again, the project would not have been a success. We worked with EID, and we also worked with PG&E to do major utility relocations, and we appreciate their participation. We had a design group that was led by Docket Engineering, and I think they're here this afternoon. Thank you for all of your help. Of course, any great project needs a great general engineering firm, and we were blessed to have Doug Veerkamp, General Engineering, take the project and present with this beautiful finished project, including the beautiful rock. Where's the big rock? 4,000 pounds, and don't ask to ever move it, they said. They did a wonderful job working with the community. And then also it would be very important to recognize that to make sure that Doug had all of the instructions that they needed, we had a project management team of Dewberry and Drake Haglin, who helped us throughout the entire project and brought it to completion. As I mentioned earlier, this is the largest project that Placerville has ever undertaken. It's slightly under $12 million is what you see as a finished project here. We began in January 2018, and of course we're going to finish here in just a few minutes when we cut the ribbon. A lot of you probably remember the famous Bridge to Nowhere, which was the Ray Lawyer Bridge, which was finished in 1996. And as I've liked to thought, as some people have questioned what we're doing here. I said, well, the bridge to nowhere has slowly become and grown into a real full-fledged interchange, which I think was always the vision from 1995, 96, when this bridge was first built. So we were successful with the westbound ramp back in 2014. We did the local road improvements in 2016, some of which you've been driving on for quite a while now. This eastbound ramp started in January of 2018. And through the collaboration, again, with everybody that I've mentioned, we have a beautiful new park and ride, over 150 car capacity. The old park and ride facility will be abandoned. The Transit District is going to let that lease go. So this will become the primary commuter spot for this end of Placerville. And we also were able to work with our community partners to develop a much better finished product for the trail. I know Jackie No is here, who is a trail advocate excellent. And we went from a sidewalk to a full Class 1 bike trail and included a boulder. So I think that really completes something that is a big asset for our community, and that is our El Dorado Trail walking system. So again, thank you to everybody that helped make that happen. And while we're standing here, but right behind you is the unfinished connection to phase 2.2. So right now that project is in design. We're working with Caltrans and our partners on that, and it is our goal to begin construction on 2.2 in January of 2021. So that will give us the eastbound Highway 50 on-ramp. So slowly but surely, the little bridge to nowhere becomes a full-fledged interchange. And again, thanks to our partners at Caltrans, Transportation Commission, and our city engineering staff to making that all a reality. I would also like to just again thank all of our various partners for being patient as this project has gone on since really the early 2000s and somewhere back even into the 1990s, some of the approvals and the ideas. I went back and found my name on an environmental document approving this in November 2005. So we just have to be patient. We're slow, but we're mighty. Again, I'd just like to thank everybody for their participation. I think 2019, from what I heard from our construction partners, it was mud and more mud. And dealing with all the various environmental issues that this site presented to us, I think they did an excellent job in taking care of every single one of those. So with that, it's now my pleasure to introduce Supervisor Brian Vierkamp from District 3. He has some words for us. And then I believe Woodrow Deloria will speak after Mr. Vierkamp. Brian? Thank you.
Thanks, Mayor Acuna. On behalf of the County Board of Supervisors, Transportation Commission, and you're going to hear from Woody here in a minute, Sacramento Area Council of Governments, Transit Authority, we wish to congratulate all on this project. It takes teamwork and collaboration to accomplish projects such as this, and this is definitely an example of that, especially in these complicated times when funding is so highly competitive. A special thank you as well to city staff. They stretched every dollar and maximized the effectiveness and efficiency of this project. And as you see around the government center and down to Fairlane and down to Placerville Drive, also all new asphalt that has been put in that just makes the whole project that much more complete. And so we really appreciate that, and it benefits all of our residents as well as our county staff. So on behalf of the county, we really appreciate that. So great job. You know, this team is a get-her-done team, and I have no reservation that 2.2 won't get done, and then there'll be the final phase. And this is exactly what we need. This benefits obviously the county greatly with the access to the jail. Thank you so much as well for leading this morning or today's presentation with a moment of silence for our fallen officer. And for those of you, if you haven't heard, November 5th is a memorial service at Bayside Church, 10 a.m. And we can get more details on that. So it's a sad time for our county, but a joyous occasion today. So let's revel in it and move forward. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you. Woody?
Good afternoon, everyone. Woodrow Deloria. I'm the Executive Director of the Transportation Commission. We did it. Good thing. I don't think we had any more tricks left. It's truly wonderful to be here with all of you today to celebrate the culmination of decades of planning and vision, and really a steadfast focus on a goal that serves not just the city of Placerville, but El Dorado County and our region. Through the project, we built a lot of strong partnerships, long-lasting partnerships, with each partner sharing the same vision of delivering this regionally significant project here in Placerville. It's due to those partnerships that we were able to get here today. This project was delivered during a time when the state was facing the biggest transportation funding crisis they have in recent history. The state was pulling funding off of projects because there was a $175 million shortfall across the state. And leadership through the city, Rebecca Neves, Supervisor Veerkamp, the former Executive Director Scherzinger went to CTC and actually advocated to keep that funding on the project. So that's why we're here today, all those partnerships. I'd also like to thank, on behalf of the Transportation Commission, thanks SACOG, the California Transportation Commission, Caltrans. One meeting that Rebecca and I attended, there were 5 Caltrans attorneys in the room at one time, and we had 5 different answers at that point. But we all got to one common vision. So thank you all for all your partnership and support, and we look forward to completing the next couple of phases of the project in the coming years. So thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Veerkamp and Executive Director Deloria. We appreciate your comments. And there's a couple of quick examples of the partnerships that went on in this project. We went to some strange meetings to make sure that the funding stayed intact for this project. Following the Transportation Commission, the State Transportation Commission, wherever they went and met across the state, if we needed to be there, we were there. So thank you very much to all the folks that made that happen. It wouldn't be appropriate to go any further unless we got to spend a couple of minutes to hear from the city engineer, Rebecca Neves, and her thoughts on the completion of this project, which has been a milestone in her career. And we're very proud to have her part of the city staff and a part of this completion. Please welcome Rebecca Neves.
Well, that was a surprise. I just wanted to thank you all. There's so many faces in this crowd that just really, I just have complete gratitude for all of you just helping get this project delivered. It takes a village to do all of this, and you know, the funding and the hurdles and the many trips to Marysville. Jess, you're an awesome host, buddy. And just, you know, every single bit of effort, it took 100% out of everybody, and I'm just truly grateful to be surrounded by such amazing people. So thank you for all your time and your effort. Thank you for just the experience of the project. You know, it was fun. We made it fun going through to get this project out to construction. And then when construction started, we actually had even more fun, if that's even possible. And just the team that helped deliver this, couldn't have done it without Veerkamp. You guys are awesome. Thank you. And Drake Hagelin managed it like a boss. REY, love it. And thank you to Dawkin too for all the effort and getting everything out to construction, you know. And we just really grateful. So thank you.
Vice Mayor, did you have any words? Okay, thank you. It's always good to be able to surprise an engineer. That is not an easy thing to do. So I certainly seemed appropriate to let Rebecca get to thank you all, because I know, again, we're overusing the word team, but this has been a long, steady process. So I don't think there's any other thing that the city engineer had outlined for me to do other than to go across the way where the police car is.
Hey, just give me the hand.
Get in here. Come on, ladies. Come on.
Bird Woodrow.
Come on. Cleve, come on. Matt. Adam Levine, get over here. Adam Levine.
Take your dark glasses off. So
Oh, yeah.
get in there, get in there.
That's right.
It's still our road. I just checked with Caltrans. That's the road. We own this. Should I move in the middle a little bit more?
Where are you?
I'm right here. Watch out. I kind of needed a haircut. All right. Now. Okay. Are we ready? I'll just kind of stand. Looking natural.
They really cut?
I think so.
Oh, yeah, because this will be a one-time deal. Because she tells me they're really sharp.
3, 2, 1. Here we go.